Uh, I'm Colin, and I'm here reviewing 2020 War for Cybertron. Um, Grapple? Yeah, I want to say this guy is Grapple. If I'm wrong, the proper name will be up above. For right now, we're going to call him Grapple. And yes, he is able to hold up a lighter on his little crane thing here. And yes, that was really annoying to balance on there, too. Let's go ahead and put away his big old crane thing arm, and we'll go ahead and get him standing straight up. And come on, give me your hand, young man. Thank you. He is a Voyager class, so he is taller than most deluxes, and he is very nice and posable. Let me go ahead and get my film noir, my soda can, and these guys actually came out in the War for Cybertron line also, so they're, you know, in the same family and all that stuff. So, Grapple himself, really nice. Yeah, he's the big old truck guy. He's the construction crane guy with the crane hanging down his back, just hanging there. Or I think they can also call this guy Erector, or that might be just one of the Micromasters. It might just be one of the Micromasters. We can call him Erector if you want. Also, I like how they disguised this blast point as part of the truck molding. That's really cool. That's another point. You can mount effect parts. There's effect part mount there, and they got on his foot an effect. You can... I've been shot in the foot. Ow, ow, ow. On the back, the only backpack he has is the big old crane, and even on the crane, there's points where you can probably mount the little effect parts, and there's another spot there you can have blowing up, and all the siege ports. He's got one on each side of his crane base, one on each of his upper arms, one on each of his lower arms, one on each foot. That might be able to fit a siege plug. Let's see actually. Ooh, you can kind of force it in there, but don't. You're gonna break the plexus if you do. But we also have siege ports on each of the feet, so you can give him the super booties or the gunfoot. Gunfoot, yes. Each arm, you can fold the fist in and give him little plug ports on the bottom of his hands, so you can take the crane piece and plug it on there. Or I can borrow a couple of customized Combiner War hands, and we can give him jazz hands. I once caught a Cybertronian fish this big. There we go. This big. I think it's cool that he can do that. I like that. My hands are so huge. Oh God, I've lost my hands. No! Let's go ahead and transform him now after he's had his existential crisis of losing his hands. Straighten his arms out, straighten his limbs out, take his backpack, and pop everything off. Now, when you're going from vehicle mode to robot mode, you're going to want to make sure that this port goes onto that tab, and that everything wedges in place between these little horns and these little lights, and that way it's nice and secure. Otherwise, it'll be a floppy, ugly mess and not want to stay in place. And yes, he's got his own little box of shame. No! Straighten everything out there. Turn the crane arm around. Oh, yes. There's another hinge in there, and then after you straighten out everything here, you're going to turn the cab up on this hinge that's inside between the legs. Take the feet, hinge them back, and then push them down on their own double hinge. Straighten the legs out. Straighten out all. Now, these feet peg here can be really, really tight. So when you're transforming him into vehicle mode, it's fine. But when you go to untransform him, you're going to want to make sure to gently wiggle it free. I haven't had this issue, obviously, but I have heard stories of this peg outright snapping off in there. Okay, so be advised. Plugging in, you're fine. Taking off, you got to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Alright, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now, these little peg ports are probably going to go into something on here because... Okay, so, take the arms and spin them to where they're facing forward with the elbows up like that. Take these hinges on the back of the arms. Oh, okay, so, have the arms. So, here's the arms. Put these vents facing forwards. Bring the arms forward. Hinge behind the shoulder to bring everything back and around. Because these holes with the silver bits are going to go onto these black pegs here. And then the arms themselves clip together like that. So we can just hinge the entire thing down and peg it all together. And I didn't demonstrate it. I should have. I meant to. However, you can, if you are so inclined, leave all his weapons stored on the back neck parts, and you can transform him with all that stuff on the back there, and you won't even notice it being an issue. And look, his head hides away, his hands hide away, his arms become weird techno-mechanical whatever stuff, his legs look like... He disguises himself very, very well. I want to say he was in the Earthrise line because he looks like a very... I don't think he is. He's probably inspired by various vehicles, but like, he looks somewhat believable. That's something I'd see on a regular construction yard. Let me lower the camera down for a moment. Let me bring in the car robots. We got the spider. We got the car. Not the car, the can. And like, he's got a bunch of seeds. You can weaponize him up. If you want to turn this facing the other direction and throw a weaponizer weapon on each of these ports, you know, even just lift that up out of the way. And like this right here, he's got the extendable crane. That's really nice to see. You can take this and turn it all the way around. He's picking stuff up. I don't know what will clip into that, but I think there's probably a bunch of things we could probably find that would clip into that little bar hole there. I just don't want to try anything out right now. So, should you find yourself your own Transformers, Grapple, or Erector, or whatever this guy is called, I'll put the proper name up above. It's a really good figure. It's actually very, very underrated. It's got really good articulation. Guy, did we even cover articulation? I don't think I actually did cover articulation. Well, he's got the crane thing going on. He's got a swivel at the neck. He's got a universal jointed shoulder. He's got an at the shoulder swivel. He's got an elbow. Nothing at the wrist really except for the transformation. He's got a very nice waist swivel. He's got a universal jointed hip. He's got an at the hip swivel and a really nice out and ankle. And really nice knee, as I want to say. And he's got really cool ankles. Look at the articulation on those ankles. He's got the forward, backward, and the side to side. so you can get some really wide-legged stance poses. And like you saw in the thumbnail, he can do a really long arm attack thing. So again, very underrated figure. Go grab one of these guys. He's awesome. This is Colin talking about Transformers Grapple Erector. Go get your own Erector. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.